Hi, it's Aleksander. I'm here with Gabriel. Gabriel has been a member of Business Mentor Insiders for 4.5 months, and he has some good news to share with us. Gabriel, what happened last month in your business?
Last month was a very good month. I tripled my revenue.
Mhm.
This was all because of the good mentorship I've got within a BMI, and because I received some good information on how to set up my funnel. What I was doing before is I would go door to door to people to make sales, and I was selling low ticket products.
So wait, so what were you doing before? You were going door to door and selling. What exactly were you selling and for how much?
So it was lead generation packages I was selling to real estate agents.
And this was you were running a tech company that focuses on lead generation through like various technical methods, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's a mix between a marketing company and a tech company. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much was a package that you used to sell? Like how much was the cost for that?
I used to sell packages around 100 to 120 euros per month subscription.
Yeah, so around $130 for our American friends here. So cool, cool. And how did that go? Like how successful was that?
It was not very successful because you had to put it was like really work intensive to do it. And you would have to do basically a lot of work, and after taxes you would not hold so much behind.
Interesting. And what was your normal month in terms of revenue back then? Like last year, basically.
Last year it was, let's say, around 1,000 euro or something like this, around 1,200.
Yeah, between 1,000 and 1,200. Okay, well, that's good. And last month, with the new business model that you're following, you did how much exactly?
It was like 12K last month.
$12,000 or euros?
Dollars. Yeah.
Dollars. Yeah, it's converted dollars. We're converting all kinds of stuff here. So euros and dollars. Okay. What did you do before you ran the business last year? I think you had a job at a big consultancy or something like that, right?
Yeah, I used to work as a Big Four consultant.
Hmm.
I was doing tax advising, and I also had some other jobs as a teacher and as an accountant.
And now you're running a business. You had your first 12K month. That was the third month in that business. What is your current business? What does it do exactly? Like, what do you do?
Basically, what we are doing is we are making custom-made software for different type of customers. Mostly those are entrepreneurs who want to expand one part of their business, or who have an idea and they wanted to launch it in the marketplace.
And how much do you sell custom software for right now?
Depending on the task, it's around 2000, between 2000 and $6,000. This is like the range of products I'm selling.
Currently? Okay, I think you can go much higher. I think you're just starting out, but I think you're already doing well. And how come you were able to raise prices from a few hundred euros to up to 6,000? Like what happened? What did you learn? What happens?
I learned to automate more of my processes, and to ask help from other people by providing more complex services.
Mhm.
I'm able to ask more money for my services.
Would you have been able to do this by yourself last year if someone told you, why don't you sell something for 6,000? What would you have said?
I would have said no, it's too much money. I cannot ask this. Or being in BMI and seeing that people around me who are closing contracts of 25,000 and even more makes it more real, and helps you also getting into this vibe, and really charging what is worth for your work.
How did you learn this in BMI? Apart from being around people that are charging more money, how else did you learn it? Because maybe just being around them wasn't enough. Like what else have you learned?
So basically, what we do in BMI, there are different ways of learning. First of all, we have calls, and you are encouraged to go to the calls which are most valuable for you. For example, I'm joining the tech call because I'm doing tech. I'm joining the sales call, and maybe one other call every week. Also, when I have questions after trying to figure it out myself, I can always post it in Facebook, and there all the members who have like more experience, they will help me if they already know the answer, or they might point me into the right direction. And this really simplifies all the search process, and it makes it that I'm not running into a mistake that other people maybe did it before me. So it cuts the learning curve.
Could you have done this last year? Could you have just like asked some friend who has a business and then had the same thing just by asking some friends? Could you have done this? I mean, it's a real question. I'm not, realistically, could you have done this or not? If you just went to your network or found a new network and just asked people, would this have worked as well, do you think? Based on your experience. Just be honest, please.
It would have been much harder. I have like a couple of friends who are doing really well, but in BMI there are much more people who are doing really well. So, and also there are much more people doing similar things like me who are doing well. So it's much more easier for me to get the right advice from BMI.
Are you following our business model apart from talking to instructors and getting feedback directly from entrepreneurs that are doing 10 times better in terms of revenue? Like what else, like are you following the business model itself as well?
Yes, actually what is nice about BMI, they give you like a proven working process. If you're following the right steps, even on the calls they will tell you like, don't worry, you're the third week you're on track, don't worry, it's normal. And the fifth week you get your first sale and Alex is saying like, good job dude, you're on track, go for it, it's gonna be more and more. So it's really reassuring. And also you have like the other people who started at the same time with you, and it's nice to see that everybody making progress within similar time frames. So this is like really nice about BMI.
How have you changed your lead generation process? Like what has changed overall in your lead generation process? Before it was door to door and trying to close them on the spot, I guess, right? Or like multiple meetings, I don't know. Or what has changed?
What has changed is that now I don't need to go door to door anymore. I'm doing all this online. So I can do this from wherever I want. I'm not like place bound. I've been learned on how to automate this process and to get some help with it. So after you learn how to do it, you can find the right people who will do this process for you, and then it frees up time which you can use to build on other parts of your business, which is really cool.
Okay, and in your current business, now you had a pretty good month. You're still building your team. I know there's some hiccups. You've told me before the interview, but how many team members are you working with right now? Not full time, but like everyone. Like who's working for you? What type of people? What do they do for you?
I have one programmer guy which helps me with the programming. I have another guy who is doing front end. I have one guy who is sending proposals. I have now also a new guy who is pretty good in graphic design and logos and all these things. And my girlfriend is doing like copywriting and website improvements. So it's like 5 people already.
Oh, okay. So that probably means you're not making any money, or what is that? I mean, it must be very expensive. 5 people. That's a whole small office full of people, right? So you must be broke.
No, it's not true, because you work like project based, and you only so I have these people with who I have like a very good trust relationship, and when I have projects, they will help me with the projects, and I pay them project based. So there is still enough profitability over there. Yeah.
Interesting. And how did you learn how to do that? Did you know that before? Like, were you doing that before, or is that something new that you've learned?
I've hired people before, but within BMI, I learned like a process on hiring people. So in the past, I hired people, but it was also because maybe with a little bit of luck, or people who, I knew, but after a while you go through all the people so then you need to find new people if you want to expand. And within BMI, I also learned like a hiring process, which is like really the key if you want to grow and if you want to build further upon your business.
And did you learn that just from the business model, or a combination of business model and instructors, or just from instructors?
It was a combination. It's always a combination. So basically, you have the course, which gives you like 98% of everything you need to know. It gives like a very good foundation, which you can use, and you can, if you follow the course and start implementing, you will already have success. And afterwards, let's say you have like a really specific issue, something, you ask it within a call when you run into trouble, and the people over there are more than knowledgeable enough to help you and to advise you on how you should do it. You need to have a brain of yourself, but if you follow their advice, it will definitely put you like in the right track. So yeah, for sure.
What other things have you learned? So you've built a funnel following the proven model,
Mm-hmm.
built a process for hiring. Well, you've learned sales, right? I guess. Well, how did you learn sales? What was the process so far? Because before you were doing very low ticket sales. So how did you learn how to close for 6,000 hours?
There is like a whole section on how you should do your sales, the steps that you need to follow. What I was doing before, I would never ask, for example, for an upfront payment, which is like ridiculous. And when you join BMI, they say like, okay, you should charge at least like, let's say 50% upfront, which is not more than logical, I think. If you want your customer to bind to you and to commit to the process. And this is something I learned within BMI for sure.
And have customers been upset about this? Are they upset that suddenly you want money up front and you want much more? Has this been going well or poorly with customers?
People who are serious it's like normal. If you say like, look, I want this money up front, they will not see it like something abnormal. I think it's only like your own mind that you need to convince that this is like normal. This is how business goes. So yeah.
Okay, and in terms of, BMI costs money, by the way. I don't know if people realize this. So from a purely, like you're a highly trained financial consultant. Okay, so you're the perfect person to ask this. I never asked this before. So from that point of view, how good was that of an investment, or bad? Or I mean, I don't want to lead the question, right? So what like how fast did you make the money back? Like how good of an investment was it, or how bad of an investment was it?
I think if you are not the kind of guy who believes in a magic pill, if you are the kind of guy who wants to work and who follows the advice, joining BMI is like a very good investment. You will get your money back, I think, in the first, like, I don't want to exaggerate, but I think the first 2 months.
Well, you can talk about your experience, right? So, like, I don't know what anyone else will do, but what about your experience?
Like, I had my money back pretty fast, like in the first 2 months. And after this, I think that the monthly cost which you pay after the third month is like peanuts, because you get access to a network of professionals, and if you deliver good work and you get like one referral from one of the other guys, you can easily pay like the whole, like, for 2 years of your membership, and you don't need to put any extra work into into building your network. Actually, Alex is doing all this hard work for you. You are just sitting there and you get access to very smart people. And it's like a win-win. It's definitely worth it. Yes.
Someone told me, when you join BMI, you need to pay a fee. Again, I don't usually talk about fees on interviews, but you're the perfect person to ask because of your background. So someone said there's a fee and the risk is on me because I'm paying the fee. It wouldn't make sense if I only paid the fee if I first made the money. What would you say to that?
Well, it doesn't make sense because if you don't pay the money, you're not gonna do the work. Already because you pay like the money, you're like, okay, I put so much from my pockets. Now I need to work because I want to earn my money back. Like it's normal. And also you put a lot of work into building the course. I think you have the right to be paid for your work. So it's not more than normal that people should pay a fee for joining.
Okay. Okay. No more fee discussion. So how has your life changed so far? Now, this is the middle of the freaking quarantine here, guys. Okay. So we're not going to be telling you any fancy stuff here. I don't know, like, if it's even going to be good. But how has your life changed outside of, the obvious?
What has changed now mostly is that I realized that you can put processes into place, and I am really confident that from now in 6 months to 1 year, I will have like a team of professionals who will work full time together with me, and that we will have a thriving business. I'm like, I really believe in this, and my mindset has changed from the mindset of a freelancer, from selling your hours for money into building something that can also work without you being there. So this would be like my goal for the next 6 to 12 months, actually, to try to automatize as much possible.
In terms of lifestyle, right? People care about lifestyle sometimes. So what about your lifestyle? Has it changed?
Basically, I can do my work from wherever I want. So
Mm.
say that if you want, I know there are people who want to go to Bali, or I don't know. You can go wherever you want, and you can do your work from online. Also, this type of work is very appealing for our generation of young people. If you can offer them a remote cooperation opportunity, they will jump to grab it, and they will be very motivated to work together with you. So, yeah.
Okay, so a question about the current atmosphere, the current circumstances. Uh, anyone watching this in the future, it can happen any year, right? So there's all this like Corona stuff. So how has your business fared? Have you lost a lot of sales? Do you feel your business is quite bulletproof?
Uh,
Uncertainty and all this stuff that's happening, like how has that been going?
I lost some customers, but I also won other customers. Some people get afraid, and yeah, we don't want to advise people to get in things when they're afraid, and those people we wish them all the best. But being genuine, I had, for example, a customer who didn't want to pursue one opportunity, but who 2 days later or 3 days later contacted me, and who wanted to build him like a new platform, like something totally different. You should not be afraid. If you are an entrepreneur, there are always chances, and maybe you cannot go anymore to the real estate agents, but then you can sell more shops online, or you can do other stuff to increase your revenue. There are still opportunities out there. It's all about how you think, and if you want to grab them, of course.
And is your business growing? Has it been growing in the last 2 months? Uh, how has that been going for you?
In the last 2 months, yeah, it grew, and now
We're in April now, end of April, 2020.
now end of April, it's stable actually. We'll see what the future will bring. Of course, we cannot look in our crystal bowl.
Okay, and do people buy expensive business services currently? Do they buy that? Do people buy $6,000 services right now?
Yeah, for sure they do. There are people who have money and who sit at home because they cannot go to their job, or their business owners whose current activities are stopped. So they have all this money, and they start realizing like our old way of working is not working anymore. if we want to move forward, we need to do something new.
Do you think this will keep going? I mean, the quarantine will end soon, of course, of course it will end. So is this, when the quarantine ends, do you think they'll still keep investing, or is it just temporary?
I think it depends on the line of business, but I think that the smart people will keep investing because now is the right moment to capitalize and to get, like a head start from the competition. So the people who were smart and who have like some money on the side now, they will invest. They will invest in resources. They will build new funnels, new applications, etc.
And what would you say, so to any professional or business owner or freelancer who's watching this, what would you say, like who is BMI for? If they wanted to, if they're considering it or they're thinking about a new business model, like who is this for?
If you are prepared to work hard, if you want to build something for yourself and you're serious about it, and if you want to have, a business that you can be proud of and grow, and something of yourself, who will eventually later give you more time to do the nice stuff that you love doing and to go travel, and who will give you like that lifestyle you want to have, I think then BMI is something for you, for sure.
Okay, and who is it not for? Like who should definitely not talk to me, or who should not go to businessmen? Who should not go to businessmentor.com right now? Who should definitely not do that?
If you don't want to spend like $100 to test things, if you don't want to work daily and in the beginning to build something, if you don't want to put like minimum 20 to 30 hours a week in the beginning into this, if you don't want to learn, if you think that you know everything the best, and you don't accept advice from other people.
If you're that guy, then please don't watch this video. You can please leave right now. You already know everything. You're much smarter than us. Sorry, keep going.
Then I think this is definitely not for you. But if you want to learn from other people who have been through this, if you're like a flexible guy who wants to evolve and wants to grow and who wants to improve his life, like
why didn't you join like a year before, for example? I mean, you can tell me the truth. Like, why didn't you join like a year before? Like, why did you, what were some objections or reasons you weren't joining earlier, for example, if you don't mind sharing?
I was like, I'm gonna figure it out all by myself. What could this guy teach me, basically? This was like my, like, why should I pay him this money? But then if you're a little bit smart and if you see all these videos of people like saying every month, like 1, 2, 3 people who are saying like, I'm 4 months into business and I doubled or tripled my revenue. And you see this like for 1 year long. It's not like only me or only one other guy. It's like 50, 100 other guys already been through this process. Then you can think like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy can teach me something, and maybe there is like a lot of value in there. Open your mind and see and learn and recognize that you've been wrong, maybe that you made like the wrong assumption.
That's good stuff. Thanks. Thanks, Gabriel. It's a good one. So yeah, cool. We'll see you on the calls. Everyone else, if you want to join our calls and stuff, just message me on Facebook or go to businessmentor.com. Everything else is self-explanatory of what you need to do. So that's it. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
And yeah, looking forward to your to your business doubling or tripling again, because we're just getting started. It's just the beginning. It's month 4, not even over yet. So we're just
Let's do it. Yeah.